Good evening, girlfriends. Happy Sunday night. Tonight is Easter, the end of Easter. For those of you who celebrate, another holiday weekend come and gone. And I'm going to keep this one relatively brief tonight. I mainly wanted to show off my hair. This is brand new, and I absolutely love it. It's a little bit shorter than my other hair, but the color red is me to a T. I love it. I love it. I love it. I hope you like it too. Um, I just want to talk a little bit for those girls out there who may be struggling because of religion. Now, we're not going to get into a big discussion about religion and politics and all of that. Okay. What we are going to talk about is my opinion on things. You may disagree with me. That is fine. But I come from a very much more positive point of view. And I know right now we're dealing with a lot of turmoil and a lot of backlash against us in the media, in the right-wing media. But there's also problems being caused on the other side too. Again, I'll say that for another time. The tricky thing right now is for those who are very conflicted. If you grew up in a Christian church, okay, even Muslim, Judaism, where this lifestyle is not accepted, that's a very real possibility. And you feel conflicted about your feelings because, maybe you've been told it's a sin or you're afraid you're going to go to hell because you feel this way. You know what? Gay people go through the same thing. And whether you're a cross-dresser or transgendered, the fact of the matter remains is that it's inside of you, it's a part of you. Now, regardless of what some will say, this is not a mental illness. This is not a disorder. It's part of who you are. Now, some girls have it a lot harder than others. I have to admit that it's not so bad on my end. I've grew up in the Christian church, Presbyterian. It's not a big deal, but still grew up very religious. And when I started having these feelings when I was very young, I was very conflicted. I didn't understand them. I didn't know what I was. It took me until high school, and even then, that's when I was more religious and more conflicted than ever, and started experimenting with dressing and whatnot. Only for a little while, I kind of put it away because I never really had an opportunity to dress after that. And then that's when my whole spiritual viewpoint changed. And I moved away from organized religion, mainly because of all the rules that, in my opinion, are made to control us and not allow us to be free and find our own spirituality. Because, if you believe in God, you want to become closer to God, that's your personal journey. That's my personal journey. I work towards getting closer to my spiritual side. And on my side, there are no rules or sins. What is a sin? Nobody can ever really explain that to me. Is a sin not doing God's will? Well, what's God's will? What was written in the Old Testament, or the New Testament? I mean, I'll look at the New Testament in some ways, and only the Gospels. I won't get into what the other guys who came along later and all their letters and what they had to say. Okay, I'll go with what's in the four Gospels, and even those I believe have been changed and altered a lot over the years. That's my opinion. But mostly it was a message of love, of acceptance, of doing right by yourself and by God's Spirit, and trying not to do bad unto others, treat others like you would want to be treated, and loving everybody, love your enemies. Something that the churches these days have completely forgot about. We need to love one another, and we are not doing anything wrong. It may not be what's considered quote unquote normal or what most people are doing. Fine. there are always going to be subsets of society. We are a subset of society at large, and but we are just as valid. Our lives are just as valid as anybody else's. So you are free to pursue to be the person you want to be. And nobody can tell you that you can't. If they do, they're in the wrong. I'm sorry. That's just the way it is. We don't have to shove our lifestyle down anybody's throats or demand acceptance. Again, that's not the way how I roll. You accept me or you don't. If you don't, I walk away and it's not a big deal. If you come after me, well, you might have a fight on your hands. But the first thing I would do is try to talk and try to have a conversation, because that's just who I am. I would have a conversation with somebody to get them at least to meet me a little bit of the way. They don't have to agree with me. They don't have to agree with my lifestyle, my choices. But if we can start that dialogue, not resort to hate and violence, I think that's what's really important. Now, for the girls who are really conflicted, okay, because of church and religion and sin, you have to figure that one out. All I can tell you is from my experience and my belief system, you're not doing anything wrong. There's no hell or judgment against you because you want to look like this. There's not. You're living your life. You're being who you want to be. If you're a good person, you're a good person. Treat other people good. That's all that matters. Be who you want to be. And don't let anybody tell you any different. Now, that doesn't make anything any easier. We still have the judgment of society. We have judgment of family and friends. I still have not come out to my family and friends yet. I'm out to you here in the public, but I'm in a forum where it has nothing to do with my family and friends. So I'm also preparing myself for the day that I might come out to them. Some of them, some I know will never accept. And it's fine. I'll leave it alone. Some I would like to share it with, because I do plan on making this a more permanent part of my life. Now, I'm not saying I'm transitioning, but it's going to be a bigger part of my life than it ever was before, especially after not dressing for 20 years and suppressing it. Now that I'm dressing again, I feel too good. I feel too good about myself. And again, I have this confidence I've never had before when I'm dressed. I'm starting to go out now. I went out and met other girls this last week. I'm going out again this week. I'm starting to get out there in the public. I expect to get some pushback. That's fine. You have to prepare yourself for that. And what really helps is to get a good support system. Find other girls that you could talk to. You're not alone. You don't have to be alone in this. There are groups in other states. In my state, there is a group that meets monthly called Pathways. They meet in person. My friend Vicky LaFontaine, sorry, Vicky, I butchered your name, runs it. We also started an online group on Facebook, the International CD/TG Support Lounge. Lounge is an important word, not group, lounge, because I look at it as a place where all of us girls can get together, whether you're CD, whether you're TG, or whether you're a cis female who supports us. It's women only, and we're there to be able to talk to one another, ask questions, give each other support, and yes, even have fun. So look us up on Facebook. You can find me on Facebook as Milyssa Lee. With the way I spell my name, I'm easy to find. If you're not sure, you can email me, melissalee@yahoo.com. And I'm more than happy to share the link with you, answer any questions, to help make your journey easier if I can. And I'm not going to pretend I have all the answers. I don't. I've lived with this all my life. But there's some things I haven't experienced. I haven't experienced any serious trauma or pushback from family or those types of things. So that's something I'm preparing myself for, just in case. But we're all here to talk to each other and support each other. And I think that's what's really important. So again, if you're feeling conflicted, we could talk about it. We can talk about what's bothering you and go from there. In my opinion, you have nothing to worry about from a spiritual point of view. God loves you. You are always going to be welcome. You're not damned because you want to express this side of yourself. That is a control mechanism that was put into place years after the events of the Bible happened. So there, and you can look that up too. There's lots of information out there that's about all of this. But I'm not trying to convince you of anything. Other than that, you should not be ashamed of yourself, and you should do what makes you feel good and what feels right to you. It's an individual choice. So live by the choice that you can. Now, some people are in family situations where they can't express themselves. I understand it. I don't have easy answers for that. Don't want you to break up your family, obviously. You may have a spouse that is not supportive or doesn't know, and you're afraid of what would happen. And I know people have had bad experiences once they've told their spouse. Other spouses have been very supportive. It's an individual case-by-case basis in an individual journey. But this is why we are creating a sisterhood, so that we can at least be here to support one another as we go through these times. So that's all I really wanted to say tonight. There's other topics I want to get into as we go on, but I just want to wish you all a very happy holiday. I hope the weekend was wonderful for you. We are here. If you ever want to reach out to me personally or reach out to the group on Facebook, please feel free. And we're here for each other. So you have a wonderful evening, and we'll talk with you soon. Have a good one. Bye.